From the Standing Stone Farm Studio right outside downtown Nashville, it's time for the most ridiculous sports podcast in the world. So sit back, relax, and listen as Bobby Butler and Brandon Bond crack open a cold one and talk all things hockey, pop culture, and complain about everyday situations. It's the Pucks Out Podcast on the Penalty Box Radio Network.
Welcome into another episode of the Pucks Out Podcast. I'm Bobby Butler. He's Brandon Bond.
Hey-o.
You can find us on the three majors of social media at Pucks Out Pod. Now let's crack open this cold beer and let's get after it. Today we've got Sweetwater IPA for your birthday, buddy.
I know you hate it, but you know I love it. So I appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
Oh my God.
A little rough, man.
That is foul.
I cannot believe you went with that. That was I want to clear with everybody. I'm not just a rude guy who thinks, oh, my tastes are the only thing. I tried to tell him to get Sweetwater Blue. Seems like they didn't have it. That is not my fault that you went to the complete opposite realm of what I said you should get, man. So this is on you.
Yeah,
I'm going to enjoy it.
It happens.
I'm going to.
Don't forget to check us out on What a Maneuver to get all the apparel you need. Follow us on Patreon to get behind the scenes content, and follow us on YouTube. Last week, we teased some new content coming in and some new videos coming in next month. However, due to circumstances outside of our control, that'll be a little bit longer. So you guys will just have to hold on just a little bit.
Maybe I'll post a picture of this sweet mustache I got just so the folks and the peeps at home can enjoy it. So, I mean, it's looking solid.
It's dope.
I mean, we got it.
You look like you should be selling reverse mortgages to old people.
I was just about to say, do you want one? I'm selling timeshares these days, Bobby. So,
But how have you been this week, bud?
Pretty good, man. Birthday weekend. So, just enjoyed myself. On the actual birthday, I finally took a much needed day off. Obviously enjoyed celebrating America's birthday along with my own. So I'm going to tease kind of what I made Stephanie do. I made her watch us.
Hey, remember, this is a family-friendly podcast, buddy.
Yeah, I heard how that came out. Yeah, let's just say I made her sit down and watch an extended period and time frame of movies. Probably a lot longer worth of movie watching than she wanted. That's a teaser. Obviously, the extended edition of Debbie Does Dallas. Yes, that was, it was with commentary. What about you, man? How about yourself? What'd you get into?
I had to work on work a little bit this weekend. After I got done working, did a little something with the wife's family for 4th of July for a couple hours, then just went home. Cool. Our dogs, one of our dogs freaks out at fireworks, so we've got to be home for her, else she's gonna hurt herself trying to get under the bed that she is no longer a puppy, so she can't fit under anymore.
And you live in Shelbyville, so I mean, fireworks, that's pretty much the only thing people have to do in Shelbyville, right? Is just shoot fireworks. Yeah. You said they've been doing it for months.
Yeah, they started in late May.
They saved them up from New Year's, and now they're hitting them.
Yeah. So, but all right, so time to get into some news.
Everything you need to know about what's happening on the ice. It's time for news from inside the boards.
All right. Toronto and Edmonton expected to host the playoffs. Those projected to be the hub cities. We're moving forward. Well, we don't know yet if, they say the qualifying round is going to start August 1st. We'll see.
Yeah, we will see. And I don't know how hard hit Toronto and Edmonton were by COVID, but I know that Canada is being pretty strict about stuff.
Yeah, so, I'm sure the NHL's worked out with the country as far as getting players in there. They're obviously doing a lot better than the U.S. is right now as far as COVID-19 is. So I think that's the smart way to go. Honestly, the smart way would be to go just to cancel it. But, we'll see.
But cancel it after we squeezed all the content out of it that we can.
Yeah.
Though. I do want to highlight that.
Yeah.
That this is, it coming back is great for us personally. Maybe again, not these people and their families, but this is our show, buddy. We want to do well ourselves. So, Toronto and Edmonton, obviously huge hockey towns. I don't think that really mattered with nobody sitting in the stands. So interesting choices for sure.
Yeah.
Obviously, Toronto has a special place in the NHL's heart.
But at least if all this goes through, Canada's at least going to see a Stanley Cup be raised in the country.
Canada, finally.
I mean,
going to get to
a
have
Canadian team's not
Cup.
going to win it, but they'll get the honor of, having someone host it in their country.
If I know Canadian hockey fans, they're going to count it. They're just like Bama when it comes to a national championship. Well, Nick Saban, he was real mean to that reporter. Count it as the ship. So that'll be cool. That'll be cool.
So this is where the issues that we talked about, and this was going to happen. The Blues had to cancel some practices due to multiple positive COVID-19 tests, per Jeremy Rutherford of The Athletic. Yeah, we saw this coming, and at first they didn't release how they got it. People thought that, maybe it just kind of got into the hotel. No, the players went to the bar after practice.
Just run into a quick bar run. I mean, making millions of dollars, needing to play for the playoffs coming up. So what
could just get a case of beer and go back to the hotel room.
Right. There's like 20 of you guys. So like the big fun about hanging out at a bar and drinking is hanging out with your friends. And it's not like going and paying double what a beer is worth is the fun part about the bar. Yeah. It's the fact of the matter that you're going to get to hang out with a bunch. So like that doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah. Now, to be fair, what they are from St. Louis. So makes a little more sense to me once you say the team. So I mean, I would imagine this is going to happen again, and especially with the testing abilities that they probably have.
I think
teams.
The final number they're going to have, like once it starts up, they're going to be doing like 20,000 tests a day. For that is an insane amount when many hospitals don't have enough tests to test regular people.
These are professional athletes, Bobby. So. What's up with all this regular people business? We need sports, okay? Again, we talked about it. Grandma dies. We got a little sports out of it, so.
But this has caused the NHL to come out with new bubble phase rules for phase 3 and 4.
They're just throwing words in there. Yeah. They're just adding words to things. They're like, we're gonna, this is slip and slide rules that we got here. You're in the bubble
just in case
area.
You're on the slippery slope.
Yeah, you're on a slippery slope. We're gonna have to enact slip and slide rule 13 that we, we
pretty much
if
players are caught leaving the hotel or anything like that, they could be fined. Multiple times they could be ejected. The teams could be fined. Personally, I think that the Blues should have been kicked out of the playoffs and replaced with the next team who was immediately out, and everyone in the Western Conference moves up a spot.
Or it's just a free space. Whoever
was facing them gets a bye.
It's one of those things that the NHL has really tried to bring back hockey. Yeah. And they're seemingly doing it in a respectful manner that's going to be good for not only the health of people, but the sport.
But the teams and the players need to cooperate with them.
Right. If you don't care about this and you aren't worried about catching coronavirus, no worries, man. That's on you. But you need to stay home. You shouldn't be going back to your team and catching it. So, I would say that unless you impose, we kind of talked about this last week, unless you impose some sort of real penalty on these players, then they're going to do it. I mean, a fine doesn't mean anything. Oh, a $5,000 fine? No biggie. It's not a big deal. So I can agree that maybe not the whole team gets kicked out, but at least the players that went out to the bar get suspended for a game or something. I think the first time the NHL does that, that's going to catch some attention. I don't know which Blues players it was, and it may have been most of them, but you would have to imagine that the guys that are the top guys that are wanting to win a cup hopefully didn't participate, because if you did go out as one of the top players on the Blues, then do you really want to win a Stanley Cup? Because that's really the ultimate question. We all know that some people are going to put an asterisk on it. Your name isn't going to have an asterisk on it on that cup come the end of the year.
It was 4 players and 1 coach.
Yeah,
I don't have the names of the players just yet.
Yeah,
but a coach.
Yeah, but a coach involved. Again, I don't know. But you would have to imagine guys like Bennington and Ryan O'Reilly and Tarasenko probably didn't. I'm not saying 100% they didn't. We don't have the name, so don't come at me if we find out that it was them. But those guys want to win a Stanley Cup, and that's the ultimate goal, right? I don't care if you are doing it in an odd fashion. That just seems ridiculously silly to me to risk just going out to a bar to pay $7 for a beer.
Yeah.
You know?
But, all right. Let's move on to some other news outside.
Now that you know what's happening inside the boards, time for the rest of the headlines with news from outside the boards.
The Washington Redskins contemplating a name change. As a lifelong Redskins fan, Washington fan, I'm all for it.
Yeah, it's one of the few teams that still have a team name based on Native Americans that is arguably a racist team name.
Yeah, I mean, because here's my rule. You know, everyone say, "Oh, what about the Atlanta? What about the Cleveland Indians?" Would you be willing to go up to a Native American and call him an Indian? Sure. Would you be able to go up and call him a Brave? Sure. Are you going to go up to a Native American and call him a Redskin? No, you're not.
No,
you're not.
That's the biggest thing is I've always tried to. Obviously, everybody has their own opinions about things, but I try not to speak on things that I have it has no bearing on me. I can't say whether or not a phrase or a word is racist to somebody because I'm myself.
We don't get to decide if it is.
I'm not Elizabeth Warren. I'm not 1/100th of I didn't know a guy who knew a guy that was an Indian one time, so I don't get to speak on it. In my opinion, it just seems like that particular name has always had and probably not as of recently, but like throughout history has had a racist connotation to it. So I think it's been a thing that has been a long time coming. I mean, the biggest thing with the Indians, the Cleveland Indians, it was apparently, and I think it was a mixed bag from what I gathered, but Chief Wahoo, that in itself was the problem that a lot of Native Americans had with it was more of the caricature of an Indian. Now, again, I myself am an Indians fan. I love Chief Wahoo, and I grew up knowing that was the Cleveland Indians symbol. Without any outside perspective that maybe that brings down a group of people, I mean, and so the Cleveland Indians have kind of phased that out of their actual jerseys and won't wear it specifically. And, it sucks because I don't feel that it is, as at least now, trying to be racially insensitive. But again, my opinion doesn't really come into play here because I'm a middle-class white guy that just likes watching sports. And so I'm not going to not be an Indians fan because they've gotten rid of that. And you would hope that real Redskins fans go and watch Washington Redskin football because they like Washington Redskin football. They weren't just watching it because the team name was Redskins.
And we weren't watching it because they were good. That's for sure.
That's absolutely true. Maybe to watch for a broken leg here or there.
Yeah. I mean, we've been doing that since the 90s. My wife actually showed me an onion from the article. It said...
an article from the Onion?
Yeah. The Washington Redskins changed name. They're now DC Redskins.
Yeah. I saw somebody had commented on that, and it was on Ate the Onion on Reddit, and it was like, God, you guys are missing the point. It's not the Washington part wasn't the bad part. Like, thanks, Linda. We all needed that today.
Sean Doolittle, the pitcher for the Nationals, had some awesome remarks that I wanted to bring up. Because a lot of players in the MLB are opting out. They're having some issues with testing positive. He pretty much said, sports are not necessary. Sports are a reward to a civilization that is prospering and doing well. Right. You don't get to just jumpstart sports too early. Right. The reason North Korea and Australia and New Zealand, they're starting.
You mean South Korea? Unless you mean
South Korea.
Unless you mean North Korea.
Sorry. The reason South Korea and Australia and New Zealand are bringing sports back is because they've got it under control. Yeah. They can. We can't just. Oh, okay. Time to bring back sports. We're getting bored of this.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. It is. That is such a truth to that. And we've talked about this. Sports goes across all lines. We don't have to be on the same wavelength politically and all this good jazz to realize that that's a great part of life. We started an entire sports podcast, Bobby, because we love sports so much. But I get it. I mean, this is the thing is, at what point is someone's life worth me getting to watch some sports?
Yeah.
So obviously there is push for more folks going in, but the people that are mad at individuals like Bryce Harper, I think you had said he isn't planning on playing this season because his wife is pregnant and he doesn't want to quarantine. He wants to be with her. If you are, no matter what you believe, if you are hating on that guy for that, then really look at yourself in the mirror, because I've heard numerous of people that listen and people that don't listen always talk about how, having kids is the ultimate goal in life. If there's nothing better. I'll bet you a lot of those people that are mad at Bryce Harper for not wanting to play baseball because of his kid and his pregnant wife are some of the same people that have said this stuff. And so really look at yourself in the mirror, whether you believe it's bad or you don't believe it's bad. Can you really fault a guy for erring on the side of caution when it comes to his wife and unborn child? I think that's an interesting take if you think that he's a jerk for not coming to play baseball. That's ultimately so I guess, in long story short, I agree with Sean Doolittle's comments on this.
All right, so it's not on the doc, but I did want to say watch a little bit of NASCAR over the weekend.
Yeah.
And I really want to talk about it because I didn't realize just how ridiculous some of these races names are. The Big Machine Hand Sanitizer 400.
That's a relatively new name. Yeah. Your boy, old Patty Mahomes.
Patty Mahomes, 10-year extension worth over $500 million.
Just throwing some money on something, huh? I mean, could he be worth that in 10 years' time? Sure. I'm not sitting here saying that he won't be, and it may be a great investment. It sounds, on the surface, like a stupid investment by the Chiefs. I love Patrick Mahomes, and I think he's one of the best quarterbacks in football today.
Yeah. 10
years, $500 million seems a little excessive.
And that was an extension. So I think he already has 12 years left. But
it was on his rookie contract though.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean rookie contracts are basically nothing. So
but I want to take a look. I just pulled up for reference the top quarterbacks from 2010. So obviously you've got Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, Brett Favre, and Phillip Rivers. But the rest of these names, like Matt Schwab,
Schaub. It's Schaub. Yeah.
Carson Palmer, Chad Henne, Matt Moore. Do you really think that Pat Mahomes in a decade is going to be worth that much money?
And he may very well be, but it sounds like a bad business decision. Whether you think that he will or not, I guess lock down your guy. And
I mean, I've always thought, especially for football, the longest you ever go, and that even still too long, 7 years at the max.
Yeah,
I like 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially with a mobile quarterback. I mean,
maybe one of those situations where he said, "Look, I'll sign an extension, but you got to give me a long time." And the thing is with football contracts is, depending on the guaranteed money, 5-6 years, there may be no more guaranteed money left, and you can just cut them. So I mean, football can kind of always look a little crazy when it comes to that kind of stuff. But a 10-year extension, I was like, that's ridiculous, man.
But, all right, so to round out the news, I feel like we're doing this a lot nowadays. Charlie Daniels has passed away at 83, not COVID related.
Man. Charlie Daniels, dude.
He's a big Preds fan, country music Hall of Famer.
I saw that guy. I saw him when I was a young kid at the Ryman. That is something, that's a story to tell. To be able to see anybody at the Ryman is amazing, but to be able to see one of the living legends that, oh man, what a sad thing to see. But yeah, hey, Charlie Daniels did a whole lot for music, and especially here in Music City.
Yeah.
So absolutely, rest in peace, Mr. Daniels. I hope how much of an impact you made in a lot of people's lives. So I think it is time for me to continue to build this dope roster to beat you,
Time for both of us, buddy.
man. Yeah, I mean, obviously mine's going to be way doper than yours is. You know, you got a weak roster, bro. That's all I'm saying. You don't know how to pick guys. Continuing, basically, I've said all that to say this. We're going to be continuing our Seattle expansion draft. This is part 2. We're going to move into the Central Division, but basically, to reiterate, we're going to be doing the expansion draft for Seattle. We are Seattle. All the same rules. -1 that there are no protected players. So we had done the Pacific last week. Bobby, you have your roster handy so we can run through it with folks.
I've got Connor McDavid, Matthew Tkachuk, Elias Pettersson, Timo Meier, Cam Fowler, Phil Kessel, Tyler Toffoli.
Okay. And mine is currently sitting at Taylor Hall, Drew Doughty, John Gibson, Leon Draisaitl, Erik Karlsson, Brock Besser, and Johnny Gaudreau. So for those of you that missed last week, we got to take a total of 14 forwards, 9 defensemen, and 3 goalies.
That's the final. We're taking, but yeah, you have to meet those, but you get 30 players total.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. I get what you're saying. Okay. Yeah. So we have to at least get that.
Yeah.
And then whatever else extra we have is going to be on our bench, and we'll do a 5th final episode to kind of round out our roster and who we're going to put up against each other.
Yeah.
Maybe if we get some time sometime, we'll keep these rosters and we'll build a team on NHL and let it sim out for like 100 times to see. We'll let you guys vote, and then we'll see who actually would win. Okay. So I get first pick this week, and basically the way we're going to be doing this again is we each get 1 player from the team of our choice, and the other guy can't take that player. So I think I'm going to head over to Colorado, and I'm going to take Mr. Nathan McKinnon.
Yeah, clear 101 for this
clear
division.
101, just like the Connor McDavid was for you. I'm going to take Nathan McKinnon to be my top line centerman.
So I got to work on my defense. My defense is who I didn't get a lot of D-men, so I'm going with the hopeful Norris Trophy winner, Roman Josi from the Predators.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that kind of leaves me with some openings on the Predators. But yeah, great choice. I mean, hard to beat it. Your defense is already looking stacked up better than mine. But I just went with a couple placeholders, I think, to round out my defense last week. So, all right. So I have some interesting choices to go. I can really go anywhere now. Tough, though. Tough for me to really make a decision of where I want to go. I think I'm going to go over to my least favorite team, go over to the Blackhawks, and I don't care if he's old. Yeah. I'm going with old Patrick Kane. I gotta bring him onto the squad. A right winger, which is not as stout with talent as the left winger position is, at least from my own research. Yeah. So I'm going to take Mr. Patrick Kane and have him join the squad.
So I'm going to go with one of the best young talents in the league, especially this past season. He really broke out this season. Going to Minnesota, Kevin Fiala.
Really?
Dude, he is lighting it up.
Really?
He is lighting it. He's got a bright future in front of him.
Absolutely he does. But it's not where I expected. Not where I expected at all. And I was kind of hoping you would take some choices away from me, but it looks like you didn't, because I didn't have him on my list at all. But since you've picked a Minnesota guy and a Nashville guy, this is tough, man. This is really tough. I think that I'm going to go with a really interesting choice here, and I'm very surprised I'm going to do this, and I'm not sure that I even want to. I got to do it, man. I think I got to do it. I think I'm going to pull the trigger on Jordan Bennington. So I can go ahead and have two goalies at least
that works to
round
me.
Out.
He wasn't even on my list.
Yeah, he's just so.
And that's more of a personal thing.
He's just so young. And although there was lots of other folks that I wanted on the Blues, I think that that's really gonna put me at ease having 2 goalies going into our final 2, and really get to round it out there. So I'm I think I'm going to go ahead and steal him. So what do you got, buddy?
All right. So for there were two teams that neither of us have picked from, the Stars or the Jets. So I'm going to go Patrick Laine recently has been on a downturn. So I'm going to go with a solid center. Actually, no, I'm sorry. I'm not going to do that. I have too many centers. I'm going to go with Kyle Connor at left wing.
Okay. Yeah, that was not a guy that I had on my list, but obviously a great choice. So that'll take me to the final team that neither of us have picked from, and that would be the Dallas Stars. Am I correct?
Yes.
In that, I think I got to go with, and this was a tough choice, but I think I'm going to go with Tyler Seguin, or Sagan, as some people will say. And so I got another strong center to bring onto the team, and really can play two ways for me. So I'm going to take old Sagan.
All right. So all the teams have been picked from. So I guess now we don't have to try and strategize who we're taking now.
Right. No more strategy involved. Just just tough choices.
Yeah. But I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to start stacking my D a little bit, man, because the Central has such good D. But before I do that, I'm going to go and grab my goalie and Ben Bishop.
Okay. Yeah, not a bad choice. I had him on my list for sure. I've got two goalies, though, that I'm feeling comfortable with at this point. So I got a long rope to be able to decide. I think that I am, as much as a downturn, he's more streaky than I think he is downturning. So I think I'm going to go with Patrick Laine. I think he's going to do well on my squad, playing a third and fourth line role type of deal where he's not the means to an end to goal score. So I'm going to go ahead and take him to have him join my squad. So welcome to the and also it's always nice to have somebody younger than you on your own team. So
all right. So I've got Avalanche, Blues, and Blackhawks to choose from. I guess I'll just take a young D-man and Cale Makar from the Avalanche.
Okay, wow, not a bad choice. Not expecting you to go that way. With Rantanen and Landeskog both available. Rantanen's pretty young, younger than most. So, but can't go wrong with.
And we've still got an entire Metro and Atlantic of good scores ahead, and
Absolutely.
I want to grab some good, solid D-men.
Absolutely, and so that's kind of why I'm going to go where I'm going on the Wild. And as much as I think it'd be cool to bring Ryan Suter onto the team, I think I'm going to go with a younger option in Matt Dumba.
Yeah, he was on my list.
I think Matt Dumba is going to be a enforcer type for the team, and I think he's going to bring some heavy hitting on some of those bottom lines, or maybe a second pairing for me if he makes the roster. So,
all right, so I might as well just take my Blackhawks. Been dreading it. Alex DeBrincat.
Okay,
at right wing.
Yeah, obviously a shining number one pick on the Blackhawks. So, but not as much. Left in the old pieces that they've kind of assembled together.
So taking him off that team and putting him on a team of superstars, I think he will shine.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't see why he wouldn't. Now moving over to the Predators, and tough choice. Obviously, I think it's because we're fans. We both kind of talked about that. I felt like Roman Josi was the most obvious choice. I feel like I would have definitely taken him had he been left. So I've got
Austin Watson's available. You can take Austin Watson.
I haven't thought of him, but now it's really interesting because I don't have any of the other defensemen written down on my list. But looking at some of my defense, that could be a good option for me there. I mean, Ekholm, bringing him in, or if I want to go some youth, get Fabro. It's tough. I think that I'm gonna go because again, I'm taking some guys that should shine, but sometimes don't. Just in the situation that they're put in. I think I'm gonna take old Phil Forsberg, dude.
He was the other guy on my list.
I think that
his scoring ability, his ability to deke around players. I mean, he is a constant highlight reel.
Well, that, and I don't think that there's a worry of him disappearing for bits at a time on this squad because we're stacked up. Dude. We got the folks. So a nice left winger to add to my squad. You got the top D man there, but I couldn't let you get McKinnon, dude, because I feel like that would have been a pretty obvious choice. So
my last pick, I'm torn on the Blues. I've got 3 choices here, and Alex Pietrangelo, David Perron, Ryan O'Reilly. I think I'm going to go, of the 3 of those, all not young guys anymore, but I'm going to go with the solid playmaker. We need a guy who can feed the puck to other guys. Ryan O'Reilly at center.
Yeah, I felt like Tarasenko was the obvious choice there. Because you're talking about young. I think that dude was born in like 97. So yeah, I mean, obviously it's at this point you're kind of building around other guys you already have on the team. But again, another fun. I'm super excited for this to kind of see the finalized rosters and kind of see where we're at past this draft, and kind of more excited to see what the folks think. What people are thinking about this one way or the other, because you look at these teams, I think it's going to come down to some of these guys that are the very little difference, but somebody has a favorite. And I think is really going to be more where it comes down to, although Yossi is really stacking up your defense right now. And that's, I need a star defender.
One of us could have taken Pekka for the votes.
That's true. But I got my 2 goalies. Look, I don't care where you guys vote. I'm voting for the team that I think is going to be the best. I'm not plugging for votes here, which is why I'm excited. So even if I lose the actual vote that we're going to put up on Twitter, I'm more excited to see if I can win the simulation that we put in place.
But that also doing the simulation, because we're building a team here, we're taking a lot of young guys, so the simulation is only like right now who would win.
That's what but that's what the simulation is. That's what it'll tell. We got a bunch of young guys, but it's not like we're taking a bunch of young scrubs that are no good at hockey.
All right, time to move into joke of the week.
The weird. Corey Perry. I don't like that. Wild. I think the first read was a good one. Now I'm overthinking it. Outlandish.
Each 6th chick sat on a stick. Little tongue twister.
And downright dumb.
You're kidding me.
It's time for the joke of the week.
Really don't like you made me go to this website to look at this article.
I know.
All right. ESPN Stephen A. Smith doesn't think NBA players can go months without sex. Yikes.
As much as I'm not a fan of Stephen A. Smith, he has been covering the NBA for a long time. So I mean, what a joke to say though. You really don't got...
That was an ad pop-up. My bad. I blame you for making us go to that website.
You really don't I feel like, you may feel that way, but do you really think that it's worth saying? What a joke, Stephen A. Smith. In some of these, they're talking about, they can't go without their wives and stuff. Well, if, the wives have kids and, they have to take care of them. Again, they want to provide for their families, but if they don't have any kids or anything, I don't see why the wife wouldn't be able to bubble up with them. That's what I wouldn't understand.
I think that it then adds, so however many players there are, because this is like however many players there are that are married, you then have to make sure that the wife isn't coming into contact with people. The kids aren't coming into contact with people. That is making that bubble so much bigger, exponentially bigger.
You're a $1 billion league, though, and so I don't feel bad for you because you have to spend a little extra money on a security.
And guess what? That also creates a lot more jobs.
Well, but what's just a silly thing? A silly thing that there's even an article. That was mostly why I had it as a joke. What a joke.
And here's the thing. I'm reading under the NBA safety protocol, players are not allowed to bring a +1 until after the first round in order to keep risk. So
you're going to just let these +1s be just out and about without any monitoring, and then you're like, all right, come on in.
We're past the first round.
You're in the first round now, Ridiculous. I don't know. I mean,
yeah.
Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith.
Listen, I love Stephen A. Smith. I love First Take. I mean, him and Max Kellerman, they are entertaining. They have hot takes. I love watching it.
Have hot takes, yeah.
I mean, I usually switch between that and whatever the other one is with Shannon Sharp in the mornings.
Man, with Skip
Bayless. Skip Bayless, yeah.
God, man, you really do run the gambit of terrible sportscasting, don't you?
What?
All of it. I mean, I don't mind Shannon Sharp as much, but
and here's the thing. Shannon Sharp is the main reason I tune in. Shannon Sharp is one of the dopest humans on this planet.
Skip Bayless. Look, I refuse to watch any show that the major mega host got caught posting on his own comment feed when he forgot to switch accounts. Okay. Yeah. I refuse to watch it. It's like, wow, Skip Bayless has such great, opinions. And it's like, and somebody's like, Skip, did you forget to switch accounts? Because it was Skip Bayless on Skip Bayless thing. No, it would not blow my mind at all if he didn't forget to switch accounts. He was just that excited about listening to Skip Bayless. So
I want to start doing that on my own posts.
Yeah, just like,
wow, Bobby's awesome. Look at how awesome this guy is.
What a great opinion, guy. NBA's 113-page safety health and safety protocol guidelines say families can do a 3-day quarantine in their home state, but it must be overseen by the team and all immediate family members must be tested for COVID. Do you think that anybody is, reading the 113?
I was about to ask that. Over under on the amount of NBA players, or honestly, let's just say athlete. How many professional athletes are actually reading the safety protocols or do you think that their agent is just reading them and giving them
the cliff notes?
Yeah.
They're cliff notes in them for sure.
Because here's what we do know. Almost over 60% of players in professional sports have said they don't read collective bargaining agreements.
No.
You really think that if they don't read about what they're about to get paid, they're not reading that.
Not only what they're about to get paid, but what they're like signing their life into and voting for. There is not a chance that 15% of NBA players have read this.
If I'm the lawyers for the NBA PA, I am mandating that every single collective bargaining agreement, everything like this, they are in picture form and they are less than 10 pages.
And Stephen A. Smith
in really bright colors to keep their attention.
It's got to be on First Take. That's the only way that people are going to watch this if Stephen A. Smith says it on First Take. I'm also just interested to know they must be overseen by the NBA. Is it just like a guy that just sits outside their house in a suit with his headset on and he's like, yeah, everything's quiet at the James household. We're all good here.
Now there were some room service that went up that looked like they were too pretty. There was about 15 women dressed.
Looked like a hottie. We're gonna have to. Yeah. Adam Silver, we're gonna need you here now. We got a code 7.
Oh no, we have a T alert. It's LeBron James having Taco Tuesday.
Oh my goodness. We got a massacre up there. There's tacos everywhere. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so I would be interested to find out about that job. Basically just the NBA snitch. Yeah. just what up, dude? I seen you coming in, what's up, man? I saw those delivery folk. It didn't look like they had anything in their hand, man, So what a joke.
So we don't have any pop culture for you today. But as we know, Brandon kind of teased it at the top of the show. We are going to watch we're going to do a whole pop culture multi-episode segment over Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. We're super excited. I've watched all of them. I've watched all the extended editions before. He's sitting down with his girlfriend to watch it. I'm going to try and make my wife sit down and watch them with me, but that's going to be a battle.
She's not going to. Spoiler alert. Yeah. So for those of you
I might tell that we just need it for the content to get, because here's the thing. As someone who's seen it many times, I want to see someone's reaction for the first time watching it.
Well, I've seen it, a lot of times myself. It was awesome. Because especially the extended edition. It's 12 hours. It's 12 hours worth of movie watching, which is a lot of movie watching. Stephanie seemed to enjoy it. I think that, yes, it's so long, but everything seems so necessary to tell. And so it was so long. I wasn't even planning on making her watch. I didn't make her do anything, but I didn't plan on having her watch The Hobbit. But she kind of was like, "Yeah, let's watch The Hobbit now too. The 3 Hobbit movies now as well." So, so I'm very excited to talk about that. I mean, Lord of the Rings. It's really weird because it's one of those things that, as big of a nerd as I am, I've never read the books, and I'd really like to.
Me neither, and I want to as well. Maybe I'll listen to them on tape, on Audible.
Maybe so. Maybe if J.R. Tolkien actually read it on tape.
Yeah.
That'd be dope.
Well, it might be kind of hard, but
whatever.
All right.
Okay.
We got a draft for you today. We are drafting foods you eat with your hands.
So we're definitely just going 4 rounds, Bobby.
Let's do 4.
Okay.
Get to 4.
Yeah, you're lucky. Because I got the pick 2 on this, and I'm going to dominate because I picked 2.
This is definitely... I have the first pick because he took first in the superhero, and I'm pretty sure the superpower is our last draft, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it was because I got super speed.
Yeah.
And I got dominated, apparently.
Yeah, you did.
Apparently nobody thinks super speed.
No, they like super speed, but I took the more less popular ones that are way more powerful.
No, super speed is the most powerful. So.
I mean...
It's the top one, Bobby.
Molecular rearrangement is pretty strong.
Yeah, but if you're fast enough,
I also had super eyesight.
Nobody even knows to. All
right, we already had that draft.
I'm still feeling robbed.
All right, so I've got the first overall pick. We'll do 4 rounds, and if we feel like we can go another 2, we'll do 6. There was a clear 101 in my opinion.
Yeah, I knew what your clear 101 was. Really?
Pizza.
You went with pizza, which was my 101.
Listen, I love what I love, but pizza is the clear 101. I love pizza.
You're vote getting.
No. Well, let me be very clear.
Okay.
Pizza is one of my favorite foods just to eat on a day.
But it is not your favorite food.
No, it's not.
And that means I get your favorite food.
Yeah. Okay. And that.
See,
so I'm fine with that.
That's what I'm saying is vote getting. Pizza's the right choice, Bobby. I'm not
pizza.
Hating
that's
on
what
you.
I'm saying. Because here's the thing: there's so many more options with pizza.
Sure, but I mean, with my 102 pick here of wings, obviously that was
now you're taking bone-in wings. That's
I got
bone.
it.
Oh, okay.
I got it.
I want to make sure you weren't taking boneless wings.
I said I have on my list here that I'm taking wings. I know that they're bone-in. But if you're going to steal my favorite food out from under me, I'm most certainly never going to let you. Even if I didn't like wings, I would take it. And
that's solid. Now, it's not where I thought you were going to go. I thought there was a clear 102 and 201 here.
So my actual 201 is probably one you didn't think of that I could probably hold back on. But again, since my favorite food is off of the board now, I think that I gotta go with it just to ensure the victory. Ice cream cones, baby.
Okay.
Ice cream cones.
That's a solid choice.
Ice cream cones, because you can really have any type of ice cream. It's just on a cone, so you can use your hands to eat it.
So now I've got 2 picks back to back. We're going 6 rounds, by the way. I already see this. We're going 6 rounds.
I've got my list here.
I don't even have a list, but I'm a hefty guy. I don't need a list.
I got a list. So
I'm just going to go cheeseburgers and hot dogs.
You can't pick both of those things. You got to pick hamburgers.
It's 202 and 301.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I thought you were just trying to.
I was like, you're damn sure I can pick both.
They're all on the grill. You got to pick them all.
That also comes with ribs. It comes with corn.
Yeah. So okay, hot dogs and cheeseburgers are such a great choice. I had on my list here burgers / sliders, because much I love a good slider.
Sliders are solid.
But sliders are in the hamburger fam, so I can't take sliders.
Now I have a question.
Yes.
Actually, I'm going to wait till my pick is coming up because I don't want to give it away.
Okay, so really kind of stole my thunder there, because I was thinking at least one of those would slide to me. But with 2 picks right here in a row, I think that there's 2 great choices that are obviously great choices, but also vote getters. So I'm going to go with ribs on the 302 here. And then I'm going to go with tacos.
That's a great one.
On the 401.
My wife told me that should have been the 101.
Yeah, see, a lot of people love tacos, and to be able to steal it in the 4th round, obviously we're it doesn't look like either of us are vote getting. It looks like most of us are just going with stuff that we love. So yeah, ribs and tacos are both vote getters and delicious.
Yeah.
So
all right, so at 402, I'm taking donuts.
Okay, yeah. I didn't actually have it on my list. I like donuts. I'm not a huge donut guy.
I'm a huge donut guy.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to be very clear because I'm very serious about this. I'm not a Krispy Kreme guy. I'm a Dunkin' guy.
Okay. I'm a
Krispy Kreme. I'm a Boston cream from Dunkin' kind of guy.
I'm a Krispy Kreme glazed guy. I love a good glazed.
I mean, this belly clearly says I don't turn down a good donut. I don't turn down a donut.
Right. I'm not a truther. Okay. I'm not a donut truther.
Yeah.
I'll eat any donut really, but I like a good glazed donut.
Yeah. But there are those Krispy Kreme fanatics out there that they were like, Krispy Kreme is the only donut.
Well, they're the Dunkins. They're like that too. But Bavarian cream, what are your thoughts on it? I'm a huge Bavarian cream guy.
I mean, I'm a fan. It's not as good as Boston cream. But
Boston cream is just weak to me. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to sit here. It's just like a weird fluff. It's an amazing fluff. Yeah, it's a weird fluff. Jelly filled? You fan of the jelly filled?
Don't like jelly filled.
Not a jelly filled guy. I'm a jelly filled guy.
Love me a good. I'm not going to come up, but
don't assault my donut though, huh?
So, all right. So 501, and now I feel like I'm starting to tilt a little bit.
Oh yeah, there's definitely I got a whole list over here, and there's definitely some tilts.
I need to go with the traditional staple of a meal. We've all been eating them our whole life, and we might need to clarify because it is such a broad spectrum. Sandwiches.
Yeah, I obviously had sandwiches. I feel like classify your sandwich is what I'm not going to take any other sandwich.
Yeah. I guess we need
but you can't just get the entirety of the world.
And literally that's when I was talking with my wife about it. That's what I said. I was like, because there's so many. There's hoagies. There's paninis.
Sandwiches is a great choice, but the real thing is you don't want me to get a different sandwich that other people like. I think that if you have to pick your sandwich that you want, but I don't get any options of any other sandwiches.
All right, so I'm gonna go and I'm gonna set the stage.
Okay.
A fresh cold cut from an Italian deli in New York.
Yeah, I think you went
with cold cuts.
You absolutely went with the wrong choice. Thank goodness, because cold sandwiches are not a vote getter.
I hate hot sandwiches. I just can't do it.
But the people love it, okay? And a Philly cheesesteak would have been the right choice. Yeah. But you've already said it. He's already said it.
No, and now that you said it, I'm like, damn, you're right.
Yeah, and I think you could also got a lot of votes with a French dip. I'm not a French dip guy, but other people are French dip folk. So, but Philly cheesesteak would have been across the board. A cold sandwich is great. Don't get me wrong. I like a good cold sandwich. But I feel like they're not the first thing somebody goes to when they think of
a good roast
sandwich.
Beef with some spicy mustard.
Yeah,
and some good pickles.
Roast beef warm is much better. Much better, dude. Yes. Thank goodness you're trying to lose this draft on purpose. Okay, so I got the next two picks here and my last two picks. And I'm not really sure if I'm allowed to do this, but I'm gonna try it, and I want you to just be like, no, you can't do that if that's the answer.
Okay.
Because it's the main ingredient that is going to be the vote getter for me. I'm going to go with bacon-wrapped jalapeno poppers.
It's
a lot, so that's what I was saying.
I mean, it's specific. I thought you were going broad.
Yeah, no, I was going more specific, but I didn't know if we were going to be able to do, so specific that,
I mean, I don't see what... I mean, I'm trying to think of I'm legitimately trying to think of a reason why not.
Yeah.
I don't have a, on-the-books reason why.
But I feel like I want to highlight, though, that you also don't get the bacon. That's more what I'm saying is you can't just have bacon because I feel like it's a part of mine. That's more why I thought that I couldn't do it.
Okay.
Man, I've got so many options here. I obviously don't know if I want to go a dessert route because I feel like there's a great choice on the horizon, but I've got a few more choices that are just eating at me. And so I think I'm going to go with it. I'm going to go with the cheese stick. Cheese sticks are dominant. I think that folks love cheese sticks. I love cheese sticks. I mean, and what immediately comes to mind is a Sonic cheese stick.
Yeah.
You know, a Sonic cheese stick are very solid. I don't know if it's my favorite that I have remaining on my list, but it's one of my
our last round. So
I know that's what I'm saying. It's not my, but again, at this point in the draft, I don't really have. They're not different enough to where I'm not going to go for votes here. I got to go for votes.
All right, so my last pick was going to be sushi. I love sushi, but it's too many people on the fence about it. So I'm going to go with a sleeper. I thought this one would have been taken in the first 2 rounds, to be completely honest.
But also, if you're eating sushi with your hand, what are you doing, bro? Get them chopsticks.
No, actually, many sushi masters have said that because so many sushi makers put their heart into this, you eat it with your hands. You want to feel connected to the sushi.
I don't feel connected to food like that, Bobby. I feel dope using chopsticks. So I don't care what those sushi masters say. Does it look like I go to Japan for sushi? Okay. I go to the $6.99 buffet down the street, bro. I don't care how much they put into it.
French fries.
Yeah, I didn't even have it on my list. I was not going to sully my pick by picking French fries. Now that we're done, the remaining guys on my list, I did have popcorn. I feel like, it's like a solid, just like a filler pick.
Bagel bites.
Onion rings. That was the one that I prefer over cheese sticks, but I feel like the cheese stick.
So here's the thing, though. Onion rings as a whole are better, but a good cheese stick, that's where you get the difference.
Right. And that's what I got.
A good cheese stick is like life altering.
That's what I've got to weigh is like the chance that people like, because I'm not going to get onion rings everywhere I go. That's the point. You know, like there's certain places that do onion rings better than others. Cheese stick, even if it's, a poorly made cheese stick, dude, it's still fried cheese. Still fried cheese, dude.
One time I didn't even get cheese in mine. We were at a Charlie's.
Just a stick. You just got a stick.
Well, so Charlie's had like the triangle.
Yeah.
And 3 of them I just bit in, completely empty shell of just fried.
I'll take a order of sticks, sir. I have, and you were. And it was
pizza,
obviously
bagels, hot pigs in the blanket.
Pizza, I feel like pizza's every version of pizza. I think the only version of pizza I could have got away with because it is different enough was a calzone. Yeah. But like calzones are like garbage. That's mostly zone, not cow, Yeah. But I did have corn on the cob if you do it right, if it's cooked appropriately. Cookies and brownies, I feel like, are great honorable mentions.
Yeah. There was a lot that were so specific to like me, like crawfish.
Yeah.
Or like
crawfish would have been great. Crawfish would have been great. Crab would have been great. But again, this is just more like every day. Like, so I feel like we got a
strong draft.
Strong draft. I still can't believe you took pizza.
Dude, I knew immediately like pizza's the one I want. Like there is no way around it. That is the Christian McCaffrey of this draft.
Yeah, I guess so. But I was just hoping you would just go for your love, because then I could pair pizza with ice cream cones, and that was over after the first 2 rounds.
I'm shocked you didn't take cheeseburgers or hot dogs with your 102 or 201.
I just couldn't risk. I love ice cream so much that I couldn't risk it getting away. Cheeseburger.
I guess I don't have it. Like, listen, and which is why I don't have a love for ice cream. But everyone knows my favorite ice cream cake is like my kryptonite. So it's weird. Not a big fan of ice cream by itself, but you make it into a form. You take that ice cream into a square. I take
ice cream cake and put it on a cone.
All right. So that was fun. We'll have that up on Twitter. Real competitive this week. I honestly, I think I've got it this week. I think donuts were sleeper.
Donuts. I don't think so.
I will say
your cold
I missed that with the cold cuts.
Your cold cuts. I
went too personal with that.
Yeah,
missed that. But I think donuts and French fries sandwiched around it will pun intended, will make up for that.
Yeah, I think ribs and tacos would like a word, Bobby, because I've got the hard hitters, okay? Yeah. And when you include the bacon wrapped jalapeno poppers, I think I finally have got you in some theoretical draft that we have. So we'll see. I mean, I never actually look at the results, so you could absolutely lie to me every time and I would never know. So
time to cast your vote. Vote your cast. Choose your pick. Pick your choice. Make a decision and take a side for this or that.
All right, we've got a good one this week. I'm excited.
Yeah, really good, and it's a tough choice.
Yeah,
because the real answer is neither. But
so lately, I've been just driving around like thinking of content because obviously with South Sports, we're starting to get a little dry here. And this one popped in my head. I literally pulled over on the side of the road and put it on the dock because lately I've been like thinking like, oh, that's a great idea. Then I forget it.
Yeah,
and usually it's because I'm driving and I'm like, nope, I'm making a decision. I'm pulling over to the side of the road and putting this in the dock now.
We should get one of those little dictation machines.
I mean, our phones will do that.
Yeah, no, I know, but like that lawyers have, and they just pull it out of their pocket and they're just like, yeah, remember this or whatever. Yeah. So I think we should get those.
And I'll probably never listen to it.
Well, not at all. Not a close. Not a close.
All right. Marry a flat earther or anti-vaxxer?
I think this really goes to a big decision you have to make.
Stupidity versus dangerous.
Well, both of them are stupid.
Yeah, but one's more stupid than the other. One's more dangerous than the other.
Yeah, I think they're both equally stupid. One is definitely more dangerous. So it really just goes down to when you have kids, how long do you want to support these kids? If it's not a long time, then pick the anti-vaxxer.
So tell you what, if you're having money issues, get yourself an anti-vaxxer.
Get you a good anti-vaxxer. I think that is, I think it is both. I think they're both equally ridiculous, obviously, as for a choice for people. I think I would have to choose the flat earther.
Yeah,
I think that there's no way around it. Not that I wouldn't take my kid and get him vaccinated behind their back.
And that's what I'm thinking. So when you marry a flat earther, you're getting just the utter stupidity, and there's no fixing that stupidity. Marry an anti-vaxxer, there's a fix to that. You sneak that kid to the doctor. You were still a 50% parent to that kid.
Well, that, and you're still gonna, and
here's another thing. With both. Marriage doesn't say have kids. This could be your first marriage.
Sure.
Maybe you're in it for the money, and so I'm just saying, maybe that anti-vaxxer is an heiress to the NBC fortune.
Right. I mean, obviously, if we're just like picking, for money, not love, whichever one is richer is the obvious choice. The problem with both parties comes from is that you have a new, not a real family, but a new family to your life. Whatever weird Facebook group they're a part of is now a part of your life.
I was about to say that. I couldn't even be friends with the wife on Facebook. The amount of
it's mostly why I stick away from Facebook. But yeah, no, I would just
be
like,
constant pictures of up close basketballs. Like, oh, we'll see the curve on this.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the flat earther thing is a lot more dangerous, and I feel like I could definitely have a lot more fun with that because, like, ultimately believing the Earth is flat means nothing because, like, nobody thought that you were going to be able to bring up any science. Tell you what,
you're not going up to space anytime soon, buddy.
Exactly. So, like, I mean,
you're not going to be sent to the space station to do anything.
The jokes with an anti-vaxxer is they're so numerous. They're so numerous because
it's not numerous. How long their kids will last?
Their kids last, and they're the age of their kids. Yeah, very low numerals. Yeah, that, and like the thing is, the funny part is you find out that most anti-vaxxers, they themselves were vaccinated. So like, I don't mind risking my kids getting polio because I definitely won't get it if they get it.
Wild.
So, wow. Yeah. I hope we've offended a lot of people out there.
Hey, and you know what? If you were offended, make sure to tune in the next couple of weeks because we're going to offend you again. And you want to make sure you hear that so you complain to your Facebook groups. So just keep tuning in. And I promise you, we're going to make something more offensive. So just keep tuning in.
How are you going to put us on blast and then download our episodes so you can listen to it and hate on us if you don't keep listening?
And remember, you have to prove it to your friends. So share it on your Facebook group. Share it to the anti-vaxxers. Share it to the flat earther groups. Yeah.
Share it with PETA. I mean, PETA's already got a distastred for a distastred. That's a combo between distaste and hatred.
Yeah. All right, so let's move into what are you binging? Dude, I found a new show, and I absolutely am in love with it. My wife and I both love it. My mom got us into it. It's called Yellowstone. Kevin Costner, by the way, kills it.
Solid sell.
It's Kevin Costner owns like a like a 250,000 acre ranch in Montana, and he's fighting, some.
So he owns like 1% of Montana and makes up 1% of their population.
So like on his left, he's got a Native American tribal chairman coming in on his land. He's got businessmen from New York trying to take his land, and it's about his kids are all kinds of screwed up because that's TV. And, it is such a solid show. It's on Paramount Network.
Okay.
It's on Amazon. You're in on Amazon. You can get on and watch it. Season 3 just started, so we're just about caught up. We just finished season 2.
Okay.
We started it on like Friday. We just been binging it.
Adding a new show in my life may be difficult, but I'm always
it's worth
looking for
it.
new shows.
It's so worth it.
So my binge, obviously I teased it already. Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. You can't really be watching other stuff if you're watching those movies. So
yeah, it takes up half the day.
Half the day would be wonderful. It literally takes up half of the entirety of a day to watch just one of them. And so when you're able to tell your girlfriend that, the longest movie in all 3 of the Hobbits is 3 hours and 8 minutes. And that's a good sell. Like that's ridiculous because they are a lot shorter than the Lord of the Rings, and 3 hours and 8 minutes is a long movie. That's a long time to just sit in place. And you guys know how I hate movies, or not hate movies, but just hate watching an entire movie. So,
how much of the time did you spend on your phone on the movie?
Me and even her. Very little.
That's
surprisingly. I mean, I definitely caught myself on my phone a little bit. I've seen them, and she was on her phone a little bit. Not a whole lot. Not as much as I expected from her.
Good movies.
They are really, really good movies, and she was just the most that she was blown away was just all of the amazing cast that they had in them. Like everybody and anybody. She was like, Liv Tyler's in this? And I was like, oh, girl. Yeah, Liv Tyler's in it. Obviously my boy Legolas. You got Orlando Bloom, dude. You got Viggo Mortensen. It's just across the board, wall to wall, great actors in it. And it's just such a great story. And so I finally, because she's never been able to enjoy Lord of the Rings memes, I finally got to show her the picture of Sean Astin that is like, he's like in like a dolphin tank or something. And somebody's like, look at this guy in Stranger Things with the dolphins. And somebody, quote tweeted it, was like, Samwise Gamgee didn't carry Frodo's ass across Middle Earth to destroy the ring and save the earth to be known as that guy from Stranger Things.
Rudy wasn't offsides to be known as that guy who went on a hike.
Yeah, Rudy was offsides, okay? He's offsides, everybody. But yeah, so great. And we've been watching a little Lost. I've told you that. Mary is Charlie from Lost, and she's like, who is that? I was like, that's Charlie, girl. And she's like, just blown away by it. So I'm super excited to finish the Hobbit series with her, and very glad that she enjoyed it. And it wasn't just me forcing her through 12 hours worth of film because it was my
wife through 12 hours of watching it.
Yeah. So.
I don't think that's going to work out for me. But yeah, so dude, lately I've been drinking so much water, man. It's been so hot. Been doing some yard work. I'm drinking like 2.5 gallons a day right now. I've got this big old water bottle that I just chug. And so, I haven't been drinking much alcohol this week.
So sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Man. No, that's horrible. Good. Water's great for you. And that's mostly all I drink if I'm not drinking beer. So I haven't really been binging this, but it has been sitting in my parents' beer fridge for forever that somebody left. And dude, I'm going to be honest with you. I had like 10 of these, of those twisted teas. they were just left over, and I just had to have them, and they're delicious, dude. They're pretty good, man. So some twisted teas.
Bobby and Brandon are about to find out exactly what snaps their sticks.
We said it earlier. Don't rush back sports.
Yeah.
It's going to be a set because what's going to happen is we're not going to have sports next year if we rush them back too early.
Right.
And what none of us want is 1.5 seasons without sports. Mm-hmm. So if it's getting worse, people, like, I don't think people, like, you don't get to just forget. You don't get to just get bored of a virus.
Florida had a 10,000 case increase in one day last week. That's a lot of
I think we're averaging on 50,000, about 51,000 new cases a day. It's not long before we're at 100,000 cases each day. And so, yeah, don't rush back sports. Sports, like what's his name from the Nats said, sports are a reward.
Doolittle.
Yeah, sports are a reward. They're not a necessity. So... But hey, if you really want sports back, wear a mask, wash your hands, social distance yourself, be safe. What's snapping your stick, buddy?
Yeah, I only have a sports this week, and it's so funny that I have it on our list because yes, it was kind of because of this particular instance, but just as a general rule, teams that are dragging their feet on getting people their refunds for their tickets that they spend a lot of money on. Now, and I guess Columbus heard that I had it on the dock because they did give us our money back. And you called me and said, hey, they finally gave us our money back. Did you want to take this off the dock? No, this isn't a personal thing. This is way too long. That was
in March.
4 months ago in a global pandemic when they don't have any idea of our money situation and what it became. We're okay. I mean, we're fine. We didn't need that money. I would have to imagine that there are lots of folks that did and could use that money.
Yeah.
And so just to hold our money hostage was absolutely absurd to me. Yeah. For basically, because what they're doing is they're going to use that to invest or make money themselves while holding on to it. It ain't like they just got it sitting in a bank account waiting, Brandon's ticket money, like that is very, very frustrating to me.
It's annoying.
That teams that are for a canceled event, it's like, well, hold tight. Maybe you'll want to be able to come to Columbus up in July, no, dude, like we bought those tickets to go to the game. Yeah. And now I just got money sitting out and you have money sitting out there that you can't use for something different. You can't utilize. You can't count that as money because you have no idea when they're going to give it back. So thanks, Columbus. I really appreciate it. It only took you 4 months to get us our money back. But
and hey, Sass, if you're listening to this and you're thinking, hey, they gave us our money back. I tried calling you, bud. Didn't pick up. Call me back. I'll get you your money.
Nope. He only gets the one phone call. It's our money
it's
now.
Mine now.
It's our money now. I'm claiming half of your money, Sassa.
Here's on Sass.
Had nothing to do with it. Appreciate the money, bro.
All right. So I've got a non-sports one, and this hit home because I got into I know you're not on Facebook. I kind of sometimes muddy through the toxicity that is Facebook, and I get in arguments on hip Mount Juliet, hip Gallatin, hip places. Grammar police in informal settings. I am absolutely owning this guy. And I accidentally my grammar's been decent.
You lost the fight, dude.
Well, I used the wrong two.
Oh, bro, you lost.
And he tried calling me out, and like he didn't defend the other very valid point.
He doesn't have to. Everybody knows the rule of the internet. Grammar is the number one point of the argument. You brought it weak, bro. Yeah.
Well, luckily everyone else rallied and was like, "Hey," like they were like, "Yeah, the fact that paragraph," and I was like, first off, at the root of the problem, can we have $1,000 devices in our pocket? Can we not improve the autocorrect just a little bit? Because I realized I was like, I'm pretty sure I used TOO, like with 2 O's.
You and lost, I'm like, man. I'm so sorry, Bobby. I'm sure it was a great point that you made. You messed up, dude. And like it's not all grammar. It is literally the twos and the twos.
Yeah.
And the your and your.
And there and theirs.
There's the yours and the twos.
Yeah.
That'll get you, dude, because there is a really, really high possibility that guy doesn't know isn't great at grammar himself.
But he knows that.
But he knows those three things.
You know what the knife in the heart is? The point I was making where I misspelled something? I was calling him uneducated.
Oh. So you lost.
I ended up coming back with a better point, and I spelled correctly.
Yeah, when you're arguing on the internet, you've already lost, Bobby. Yeah. So you lost originally, but then you made the cardinal rule of arguing on the internet. And
but I blame Samsung because I put 2 O's, but it for some reason just switched over to, I think you mean T-O.
Sure you did, Bobby. I'm sure you did. I actually don't have a non-sports this week. It's my birthday weekend. I didn't think of anything. I've had
your non-sports is that you couldn't go out to a bar on your birthday.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I guess not really, dude. I've been saving some money, dude. I'm not, I like going to bars.
You're working 80 hours a week.
I like going to bars, dude. Don't get me wrong, but like, dude, it's not like I was 21. Like, I feel bad for my sister not being able to go to bars on her birthday. Dude, I'm 29. I'm literally almost 30. Like,
you don't want to go take our blue little thing to gyms and get dollar refills?
I absolutely see, don't hear what I'm not saying. I absolutely would love to do that. I think I'm past the point where it has to be done on my birthday. Like, I've got money now. I just
can do other weekends.
Things. I just go to places on weekends that I want to and spend the money that I want to spend.
Yeah.
So I mean, obviously it sucks that it was, my birthday was, I mean, again, I want to use the word ruined very lightly because it wasn't ruined.
It was
I had a great time. I had a great time, on my birthday weekend. It was not as fun-filled or as people-filled as it generally is, but me, man, I could hang out with a fence post and have a great time if he's got some good stuff to say.
Next year, I think,
or he'll listen to me, to be honest with you.
Next year, hopefully things are better by next June and July.
We're going to Annapolis, bro. That was what I was excited about. That's my my stick. We didn't get to go to Annapolis
but I think next year we should combine our birthdays and have an ultimate King's tourney. Like a 2 weekend where I'm the king on one weekend, you're the king on the next one, and just have a massive King's tourney.
Oh, that sounds great. Or have a dueling king tourney.
We each pick our champions.
We draft our teams.
We get to draft our families. Our families finally get to find out.
Well, no, we'll just have everybody, both people that everybody
from both
invites,
sides,
and we'll just like have them in a line, and we will. I'm gonna use a stick to. You there? You are my team.
I'm using a machete. There might be some injuries.
Okay. I think people are going to want to be on my team. So even if they're on your team, they're already bleeding out. So I'm going to win this tournament. No question.
All right, guys. That about wraps up this week. We hope you had fun. I know we did. We will see you guys next week. Peace.
Thanks for listening to the Pucks Out Podcast. To see what other ridiculousness the guys are up to, check them out on Twitter and Instagram @PucksOutPod.